Nobody expected Dubai to shake like this. Not for a qualifier. Not for a 20-year-old. Not for someone ranked outside the top 10. But the moment she stepped out of that tunnel, the sound hit first. A wall of noise. Flags in the air. Security scrambling. Cameras shaking. And suddenly the question wasn't, who is Alexandra Eala? It was, how did one player just turn a WTA event into a national uprising? Because this wasn't normal hype. This wasn't polite applause between points. This was thousands of voices chanting one name in rhythm. Alex. 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 And what happened next? It changed the temperature of the entire tournament. The Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships is used to stars. Grand Slam champions walk these courts every year. Elite names dominate the posters. Yet somehow, the loudest reaction didn't belong to a world number one. It belonged to a Filipino left-hander who wasn't even guaranteed a main draw spot 6 weeks ago. Let that sink in. She was preparing for qualifiers. Grinding. Planning for extra matches. No spotlight. No red carpet. And then, withdrawals. A door opened. Quietly. Unexpectedly. She stepped through it. And within hours, the energy in Dubai shifted. But this is where things got complicated. Because the moment news broke that she was officially in the main draw, something else activated. The Filipino diaspora across the UAE. Nurses. Engineers. Service workers. Families who left home chasing opportunity. They didn't just buy tickets. They mobilized. The practice courts. Overflowing. The walkways. Packed. Traffic. Slowed to a crawl. It looked less like a tennis tournament and more like the arrival of a global pop icon. And here's the part no one expected. The roar during her practice session was louder than some match days. People waited in desert heat just to watch her hit cross-court forehands. Security wasn't dealing with chaos. They were dealing with love. Overwhelming, emotional, unfiltered support. Why does that matter? Because tennis rarely feels like this outside a player's home country. But in Dubai, home traveled with her. The chants in Tagalog echoed through a stadium built for international elites. For a moment, it didn't feel like the Middle East. It felt like Manila. And yet, beneath the celebration, there's pressure. Crushing pressure. Because cheering is beautiful, until you realize every unforced error will echo just as loudly. Every missed first serve will tighten your arm. Every break point will feel heavier than usual. That's the double edge of devotion. Now add this layer, her recent form. In Abu Dhabi, she battled to the quarterfinals. Came back from the brink. Showed resilience that made analysts take notice. A top 40 breakthrough. Historic. Momentum rising. Then came Qatar. Straight sets exit. Early loss. Critics whispering. Was it inconsistency? Was it fatigue? Was the surge temporary? And this is where the story turns. Because Dubai isn't just another tournament. It's a WTA 1000 battlefield. One step below a Grand Slam in prestige. The draw is stacked. The margin for error? Tiny. Her first opponent, Hailey Baptiste. Ranked right beside her. Powerful. Aggressive. No fear of hostile environments. On paper, it's even. But on court, it won't feel even. Baptiste walks into a stadium vibrating with chants for her opponent. Every winner Eala hits will explode like a championship point. Every long rally will feel like a war. And here's the psychological twist. Home-like support can lift you, or it can suffocate you. If Eala falls behind early, will the energy fuel her comeback? Or will expectation creep into her swing? Because technically, there are still vulnerabilities. The serve can be attacked. When rushed, errors can leak. Qatar exposed that. Baptiste knows it. She'll try to flatten the rallies. Take time away. Hit hard and early. But what makes this match dangerous isn't tactics. It's emotion. Eala isn't just playing for ranking points. She's playing for representation. For thousands in that stadium who see their own sacrifices mirrored in her journey. When she signs autographs after practice, it doesn't feel transactional. It feels personal. That's why the viral video exploded online. It wasn't celebrity culture. It wasn't marketing. It was connection. And tennis desperately needs connection. For years, Asian tennis has been defined by superstars from larger federations. Now, a Filipino player is rewriting that narrative. First main draw Grand Slam win for her country in the Open era. Consistent tour presence. Growing belief. But that wasn't even the real story. The real story is what happens next. Imagine she wins this opener. The crowd doubles. The atmosphere intensifies. Suddenly, the tournament isn't just hosting a player, it's hosting a movement. Imagine she loses. Does the wave fade? Or does it grow louder, more protective, more determined? Because movements aren't built on single wins. They're built on identity. And in Dubai, something shifted. Organizers felt it. Broadcasters felt it. Sponsors noticed. This wasn't random hype. This was market power made visible. Yet strip away the sociology, the business angles, the viral headlines, and you're left with a 20-year-old walking onto court with thousands of eyes locked on her back. That's heavy. Watch her body language in those clips. Calm smile. Controlled steps. Pausing for selfies. No visible panic. That composure might be her most dangerous weapon. Because if she channels the noise instead of fighting it, the stadium becomes a weapon. And if Baptiste senses hesitation, she'll pounce. This match won't just test forehands and backhands. It will test nerve, breath control, emotional regulation under amplified expectation. And that's why this moment matters far beyond one round of tennis. We are witnessing the collision of diaspora pride and elite sport, of opportunity meeting preparation, of spotlight meeting youth. The question is simple, but the answer isn't. Is this the week Alexandra Eala transforms from promising talent into undeniable star? Or is this just the beginning of a much longer climb? Listen closely during that first game. The serve toss. The silence before contact. The eruption after impact. That rhythm will tell you everything about where this is heading. Because something is building in Dubai. You can feel it in the chants. You can see it in the packed walkways. You can hear it in the trembling phone footage. And history doesn't always announce itself politely. Sometimes it sounds like thousands of voices shouting one name in unison. So now I want to know, if you were in that crowd, what did it feel like when she stepped out? And if you're watching from home, do you think this pressure makes her stronger or more vulnerable? Drop your prediction below. Does she ride the wave, or does the wave test her? Stay until the final point of this story, because what happens next in Dubai could redefine more than just rankings. It could redefine who owns the loudest stage in tennis. If this energy gave you chills, show it. Like the video. Share your thoughts. And make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you don't miss what unfolds after that first serve. Because the party in Dubai isn't just noise anymore. It's momentum. Before the first serve even leaves her hand, something feels different. The stadium isn't just full. It's vibrating. Thousands of people leaning forward at the same time. Flags waving. Phones recording. Security scanning the crowd like they're preparing for a final, not a first-round match. And right in the center of it all stands a 20-year-old who suddenly carries more than a racket. This is no longer about going viral. This is about proving the moment wasn't a fluke. Because hype fades fast in professional tennis. One loud day means nothing if you can't back it up with results. And that's the pressure wrapping around Alexandra Eala as she steps to the baseline in Dubai. Across the net is Hailey Baptiste. Same ranking neighborhood. Same hunger. Same opportunity. On paper, this is balanced. But emotionally, it's a storm. And this is where things get dangerous. If Eala starts strong, lands that first serve clean, wins the opening rally, the crowd will erupt like its championship point. Momentum will feel unstoppable. But if she misses, if nerves show, the silence will be just as loud. That's the reality of playing with thousands behind you. They lift you, but they also amplify everything. The first few games matter more than usual. Early rhythm is critical. Her left-handed forehand, heavy, spinning, dragging opponents wide, must click immediately. Baptiste will try to rush her. Flatten the ball. Attack short serves. Take time away before rallies stretch. Because if rallies extend, that's where Eala thrives. She's built on resilience. In Abu Dhabi, she clawed back from near defeat. Down. Pressured. Tested. And still standing. That wasn't luck. That was mental strength forming under fire. But Dubai is louder. Dubai is emotional. And here's the twist. Emotional matches aren't always about clean tennis. They're about nerve control. About managing adrenaline. About not rushing when the stadium explodes after a winner. Between points, watch her. Does she slow her breathing? Does she reset calmly? Or does she rush to the line, feeding off the noise too quickly? That's the hidden battle. Because Baptiste has freedom. She walks in as the disruptor. If she breaks early, she quiets the arena. If she strings together aggressive returns, doubt creeps in. And doubt, even for a second, changes swing speed. But imagine the opposite. Imagine Eala breaks first. The chants grow louder. Baptiste starts feeling like she's playing an entire nation, not just one opponent. That pressure flips sides. This is where psychology overtakes tactics. Technically, Eala's serve still needs stability. In Qatar, opponents targeted it. Forced second serves. Attacked returns. If that weakness appears again, Baptiste won't hesitate. So the key becomes discipline. High first serve percentage. Smart shot selection. No reckless attempts just to excite the crowd. Because the crowd will cheer grit more than flash. Long rallies. Defensive slides. Turning impossible points into scrappy wins. That's what makes a stadium fall in love deeper. And let's zoom out for a second. This isn't just a match. It's a signal. Sponsors are watching. Broadcasters are noticing. When thousands gather like this for a top 40 player, it tells the sport something important. Connection drives growth. But for Eala, none of that matters mid-rally. All that exists is the ball. And that's why this moment is powerful. Because if she channels the noise instead of drowning in it, she becomes more than a viral headline. She becomes a legitimate contender in this draw. If she wins here, the atmosphere multiplies in the next round. The pressure doubles. The spotlight intensifies. But so does belief. If she loses, the movement doesn't vanish. It evolves. Because what happened in Dubai already proved something bigger than a scoreline. She can draw energy on a global stage. Still, results shape narratives. A victory cements the surge. A loss invites questions about consistency. About readiness. About whether the spotlight arrived slightly ahead of schedule. So here's the question that makes this fascinating. Is this the tournament where she steps fully into star status? Or is this the chapter that builds her for something even larger later? Watch her response to adversity. That will tell you everything. Does she fight harder when trailing? Does she tighten when leading? Does she absorb the crowd's volume and convert it into clarity? Because great players don't just handle pressure. They reshape it. And as this match unfolds, one thing is certain, Dubai isn't quiet anymore. The energy is real. The expectation is heavy. And the opportunity is massive. So what do you think happens next? Does she ride the wave all the way through this round? Or does the moment test her more than expected? Drop your prediction below. Stay with this story until the final point. Because whether it ends in celebration or heartbreak, this chapter in Dubai is shaping something bigger than just one night of tennis.